I am Taurus Speech, also known as Work, via Instagram, and I am so grateful that you decided to tune in to yet another episode of Channel 1341. You know, I've been labeled a lot of things, a lot of good things, but side note, keep in mind sometimes titles can be limiting because people hold you accountable to this one thing that they think you're good at. They may label you as a public speaker, but you're so much more than just a public speaker. So be careful with, titles. They can sometimes be prisons, is what I'm saying. But one of the titles I've been given was being a go-getter. Another one that I kind of grew into appreciating was being called radical. At first, when I first was called radical, this was like in college. Everybody knows I am headstrong for Jesus, first and foremost, and I don't care who likes it, and I applaud those who are just as woke. But I was told I was radical, and I didn't understand that at first. And at that time, to me, radical meant I was judgmental, or I just did things just to do it. And it wasn't until I grew older and I realized that in order to expect radical changes and radical results, you have to do radical things. I never forget the first time I truly decided to fast for 3 days, where I had nothing but ginger ale, water, my Bible, and Jesus. When I tell you, I had never felt so full in all of my life. I had never felt like I did. I'd never been that high off in a spiritual realm like I had experienced by sacrificing what I sacrificed for a cause bigger than what others could even fathom or can come to understand. Because let's be very clear, I think I've made this very clear in the past, that I don't do what I do for other people's approval or applause or acceptance. It's so much bigger than that, because my standards are set to the Lord. So that's who I'm living through. That's where my help comes from. That's why I do what I do, the bigger picture. But I was told that, that was silly, that was stupid. Why would you not eat for 3 days? That is so stupid. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm expecting this of God. And if my God gave his only begotten son and sacrificed his body for me, why can't I just for 3 days sacrifice a little bit of nourishment for some spiritual nourishment? Because that's exactly what I received, and I was so full, and everything that I believed God for, he exceeded and some, because I was diligent, I was radical, and I believed my big God for every big thing that he said he was going to do. If I, then he, and I did. That is my message to you. You may be on the verge of doing one of the most radical, craziest, can't really explain it to other people, but you know what it is type thing, and that is totally fine. I have learned that we have got to stop living up to other people's expectations when we already have set forth an expectation for ourselves according to our Creator. There is nothing to explain. There is nothing to demonstrate. There is nothing to do except what is expected of you through your Creator, period. And if that looks radical, mind-blowing, crazy, and stupid to other people, so what? At the end of the day, we have absolutely nothing to prove to any person on earth, period. And once I mastered that, I promise you, I was told that I am wise beyond my years, but I'll tell you one thing, I know much about nothing at all. But what I do know is when you live according to who you know you are through whose you are, everything, it's not magic, it's the law. It's the law of reaping and sowing. It's the law. The Bible is a book of laws. It's a government, honestly. People look to this to be this religious, don't do this thing. And I rebuke that. It is just, if you, then this is what's going to happen. If you don't, then this is what's going to happen. It's a book of laws, period. So to all of my radical, crazy, on the verge of something amazing, keep at whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care how many people laugh at you. Do you know how many people laughed at Steve Jobs? Do you know how many people laughed at Bill Gates? Bill Gates was denied by 6 banks. 6 banks because they looked at him to be crazy. Steve Jobs once said, others look at them as crazies or something like that, while other people look at them to be geniuses. So what if you can't quite explain why you're doing what you're doing, but you know it's going to reap something so much bigger than you that's eventually might serve generations to come? So what if people don't understand it? Another thing it's worth noting is that you can expect small-minded people to wrap around big-minded ideas, which is totally fine. And it's so much bigger than the idea too. It's the process and getting to the idea, and by any means necessary, it has to be done. Trust the process. No matter how crazy, no matter how radical, when you know what the end result is, if that means getting up at 4:20 in the morning to go work out, just to get your day started, have a good breakfast, go to work, give the day your all, get off of work and get back to that gym to do whatever it is you need to do. If that means doing 2 and 3 a days, then you do it. If that means staying up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to get whatever it is done, then you do it. If that means shutting your cubicle or going to your car for your lunch break just to have some you time to wrap your mind around whatever it is that struck your interest at breakfast and you just need to figure it out, then you do it. If that means deleting Instagram, deleting Facebook, and pulling away from society just for a brief second to get your thoughts in order and get your plan into implementation, then you do it. If that means cutting your phone off and just telling people no, then you do it. You don't owe anyone any explanation to do what it feels that you were called to do. It's going to require you to get some heart. It's going to require you to do work. And it's definitely going to require you to push through. But if there's anybody to radically get it done, I promise you, it's you. So let's get it.